Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Ella. But everyone called her Cinderella, because she spent her days tending the hearth, often covered in cinders. After her mother's death, her father remarried, but her new stepmother was cold and vain, and her two stepsisters, Drusilla and Anastasia, were selfish and cruel. They made Ella sleep by the ashes and do every chore while they dreamed of grand things. One afternoon, a royal messenger announced a grand ball at the palace. The prince was looking for a bride. The stepsisters were ecstatic and spent the next day preparing, while Cinderella worked tirelessly for them. When she timidly asked if she could go, her stepmother laughed. "You, in those rags? Ridiculous. Stay here and finish your work." That evening, as the carriage carried her stepfamily away, Cinderella sat alone by the fire, crying. "I only wished to dance once," she whispered. Suddenly, the kitchen glowed with a soft, silver light. A gentle woman in a dress made of moonlight appeared. "Do not cry, dear child," she said. "I am your fairy godmother." With a wave of her starlight wand, a pumpkin turned into a gleaming crystal carriage. Mice became proud horses, a lizard a coachman, and grasshoppers became footmen. Then, the fairy godmother turned to Cinderella. Her tattered rags swirled into a gown of midnight blue silk, embroidered with silver stars. On her feet appeared the most exquisite glass slippers. But remember, her godmother warned, the magic lasts only until midnight. At the palace, every head turned as Cinderella entered. The prince, bored until that moment, felt his heart skip a beat. He crossed the room and asked her to dance. They danced all night, and Cinderella laughed freely for the first time in years. As the final waltz played, she saw the clock nearing 12. "I must go," she whispered, pulling away. "Wait," the prince called. "Tell me your name." But she was already running down the stairs. In her haste, one glass slipper fell from her foot. She didn't stop. Just as the clock struck 12, her gown turned back to rags, the carriage to a pumpkin. But one glass slipper remained on her foot. Proof the night was real. The next morning, the prince declared, "I will marry the woman whose foot this slipper fits." When the royal party reached Cinderella's house, the stepsisters tried to squeeze their feet into the slipper, but it was no use. Then the prince saw the quiet girl by the hearth. "Will you try?" he asked gently. Cinderella stepped forward, and the slipper slid onto her foot perfectly. The prince looked into her eyes and smiled. "It is you." He knelt and took her hand. "Will you come back to the palace as my bride?" Cinderella nodded, her eyes filled with tears of joy. They married on a clear spring day. She forgave her and every night she would slip on her one remaining glass slipper and dance with her prince in the garden. Just the two of them in the moonlight. And they lived happily ever after. Not because of magic, but because two gentle hearts had found each other. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.